What's going on, everybody? This is Jeff with Living in Arizona, and today we are going to answer a question about home prices compared to rent, and then dive in across Phoenix area and expand out to other cities in Phoenix. So if you're new here to this channel, this is Living in Arizona. If you're thinking about moving to Arizona, you might want to consider subscribing, and let's go ahead and dive right in here. This is going to be a twofold kind of question. I'm going to take two questions at once and combine them into one video. This came in from Furman Watson. He said, hey, nice video, man. Please do a video of the prices of the apartments versus the prices of the houses in Arizona. So he wants to compare prices of apartments versus houses. And so we're going to take a look at rent versus mortgage around the valley. And then Alan Carr says, I was wondering if you could do a video on the difference between asking home prices versus what they actually sell for in areas like Buckeye and Santan Valley. Seems like owners are asking well over what the homes are worth. Very curious if homes are actually selling for close to asking price if it's sought after. Areas like Gilbert, Paradise Valley. Love all the info you put out. I'm planning on moving from Florida by 2019 in June. Thanks again. This is from Alan Carr. So we're going to go ahead and tackle all these questions, both of these questions in one video here. And the best resource that I found for comparing mortgage rates is on Trulia.com. If you go on there, you can analyze it by any area on Trulia. You guys know of Trulia, Truli.com. They're like Zillow, but it's not Zillow, it's Trulia. So on this, they have a map here where you can go into specific areas. So in the Phoenix metro area, home prices in places like North Scottsdale, almost $1 million is the average median home price, right? Like those are California prices. Those are Los Angeles prices, San Diego prices. Now that's in Desert Mountain, Carefree, Cave Creek. The area code 85331, Cave Creek's area code, it's got it at $456,000 for the average median home price. That's pretty high, right? So we're starting at the top, working our way around. 85255, a Scottsdale zip code, $653,000, and it varies, but Scottsdale is anywhere between $500 to $1 million for an average median home price all throughout Scottsdale. Now, if we zero in on some of these other suburbs that are not as expensive, for example, the only suburb inside of Phoenix that's going to have a high cost is Paradise Valley, where the average median home cost in a zip code like 85253 is $1.5 million. Not all of Paradise Valley is that price, but that's in that area of Paradise Valley around Tatum. Now, if we dial it in and we end up in places like, say, Glendale, Glendale's got an average median home price in the zip code of 85301, $124,000. Now, also areas in Glendale can go up to as high as $200,000. And in that range, Peoria is $215,000, so Peoria is a little bit more expensive than Glendale. You also have places like Surprise, where it's less than Peoria, but still more expensive than Glendale. $199,000, Sun City West, 85375, $200,000 for an average median home price. Not going to break your bank, but you still got to make a certain amount of money to qualify. If we go over to the other side of the valley, Gilbert, say, $274,000 in the Gilbert area in the zip code of 85234. So that's $274,000 is quite a bit of money, right? It's a little bit more than Peoria even. So if you're looking for cheaper homes, maybe you consider West Phoenix over East Phoenix. Chandler, $219,000. And then you have other places around like Tempe, say $224,000 in the zip code of 85281. So my dog's behind me licking something. But if we go now, say towards something like Prescott, right? Let's go up to Prescott and see what the median home price is over there. $336,000 in the zip code of 86303. If you're thinking of moving to Prescott and you want to save some money, you might consider a place like Prescott Valley, which is about 20 minutes outside of Prescott, and that's at $201,000. So it's a lot cheaper in Prescott Valley. You're not going to have the pines, but you're going to be close enough to Prescott and close enough to the Mile High, right? Now, if Prescott Valley and Prescott aren't for you, maybe you consider Cottonwood, $185,000, so below $200,000. And Cottonwood's actually a pretty decent area. Now, if you're thinking about Sedona, you're going to be looking at $500,000. Sedona is a high rent district, right? Now, Flagstaff is at $300,000 for the average median home price. More expensive than most areas in Phoenix, but still, up there. It's not going to break the bank, but I think $300,000 for a home is quite expensive, actually. But it's really not, because in California, say, like if we just took this map over to say Los Angeles, the average home price in Los Angeles is $1.2 million. So Long Beach is $1.1 million. Irvine, $784,000. $595,000 in certain parts of Irvine. If you go to San Diego, $434,000. La Jolla, $1.4 million in La Jolla. So Arizona's still pretty cheap. If the most expensive part in Arizona is still cheaper than Los Angeles. That tells you enough about what you're dealing with when it comes to the pricing, right? Now, if you're interested in Tucson, you can get it as cheap as $113,000 at 85705. There's also areas in Tucson that are $500,000, right? 85718 zip code. You can pause this video at any one time to look at specific zip codes as I mention it. Let's just say you wanted to know what I just said about a certain area in Tucson, 85718, go ahead and look it up, right? You got Oro Valley, 85737. You've got Sororita, Oro Valley's $275,000. Sororita, 85756, $139,000. That's down by Tucson. Now, let's go ahead and talk about a different area on this, and that's rent. So, depending on what part of the valley you're looking to move to, your rent prices, which you can find pretty effectively on a place like rent.com, let's just say the heart of Phoenix. If you're looking to live in downtown, there's places down there in downtown, $3,200. That's like really expensive. $2,800 in downtown Phoenix, right? Then you can also find some studios down there for $995. If you're looking for rent in, say, Scottsdale, right there in the heart of Scottsdale, you could be looking at some really expensive properties down there. Okay, Scottsdale's got some high rent districts, $2,000, $3,200, $6,500, so it can get pretty pricey. Now, if you're looking to move to, say, Guadalupe or Albuquerque or Tempe, $1,700 for a decent property. And then, it just varies all across the valley. You can even find stuff in the West Valley for $700 a month, which is pretty good, right? But it might not be up to your standards. But it seems like, for the most part, $1,625 appears to be the valley-wide average for a 3-bedroom, 4-bedroom home, which you can actually get as your mortgage. A mortgage on a $270,000 home, after you include all of the taxes and everything and the interest, you'll be looking at about $1,700. Also factor in, does it have a homeowners association cost? But is it worth it to buy a home over rent? Well, if you're considering moving here for, if you don't mind living in that home for 5 years, it might be a worthwhile investment. But if you're just moving here, you might want to start out renting for 6 months before you find out what area of Phoenix really appeals to you most. Is it going to be Gilbert? Is it going to be Chandler? Is it going to be Tempe? Is it going to be Phoenix? Or is it going to be the West Side, Peoria, Glendale, Surprise, Buckeye, right? Or is it, do you have enough money to live in a place like Scottsdale? And to touch on the question that came in from the other question, where he was saying, do the homes actually sell for what these people are asking? Which was a good question, right? Like, do these people actually get their asking prices? That's what Alan was asking. And for the most part, it's going to be up to the homeowner, but also up to the real estate agent. Is the real estate agent able to go to that homeowner? And it's going to come down to ultimately supply and demand. Right now, the demand is higher than the supply. So it's been a seller's market. But as with anything, the economy can shift. Like right now, the economy is kind of teetering on a correction, or people are even talking about, are we approaching a recession? So that's something to consider, right? We don't know. But the economic situation, if we're in a recession, it's going to become a buyer's market all of a sudden. It's a great time to buy. But right now, we've been peaking. We've been approaching some of the 2006, 2007 levels all over again. And where do we see this? Well, azcentral.com, which is the local news source. If you want to know the local news and you don't want to read the Arizona Republic, go to azcentral.com. So here's what they said. It's been a long, hard road to recovery for Metro Phoenix boom and bust battered housing market. But some Valley neighborhoods are there, back to 2006 price levels and higher, and other neighborhoods are very close. As expected, millennial first-time home buyers are propelling the recovery. So they're saying that these 30-somethings, these people who are 30-something are propelling this recovery, these millennials, right? Late 20s, 30s, early 40s. Metro Phoenix home prices are rising the fastest in many of its most affordable centrally located neighborhoods, from downtown Phoenix to Central Mesa, where young buyers want to live and can afford houses. So young buyers tend to want to live closer to the central part of the city, whereas some people, well, in my case, I chose to live out in Santan Valley, so that's a suburb. That's beyond a suburb. I wouldn't even call it, yeah, I guess you could call it a suburb. It's just so far away from downtown Phoenix. Like, I'm an hour and a half away from the airport, really, depending on what route I take to get there. It can depend too. But I mean, to get to a freeway, I have to take about 20 minutes worth of surface streets before I even touch the freeway, which will slingshot me around all of Phoenix. Metro Phoenix home prices are rising the fastest in many. Okay, so we've got that. 2017 was a good year for the housing recovery in the Phoenix area. 2018 was also a strong year for the Phoenix metro area, but will it continue? So we shall see, right? Now, outside of all of this, what $250,000 will buy you in the Phoenix real estate market? Well, for the most part, that's like the magic number. Can you qualify for $250,000? And if you can, you should be able to get a pretty comfortable lifestyle with $250,000. But I think the real sweet spot, truthfully, to get you really right where you want to be around $300,000, okay? But $250,000 will get you set up pretty nicely in a place like Glendale or Peoria, but it won't get you very much in Scottsdale. So it's going to depend on where you're trying to settle. Anyways, guys, I wanted to put this video out there because and answer these questions, because these are questions you guys want answered and you guys want to discuss these subjects. If you have any information or wisdom to impart onto people onto this channel in the comments, feel free to drop your own 2 cents. I don't mind corrections, whatnot, whatever you have. But for the most part, the average median home price in Phoenix, Mesa, Scottsdale, overall, $262,000. It's coming straight off of Zillow, and that's basically what it is. The housing market, it's hard to say if it's booming or busting right now, but the economy, you guys know what's going on Wall Street, and but consumer confidence is still there, although Wall Street confidence might not be there, which is kind of weird, right? In the sense that Wall Street's not doing so hot, but it was. But for the most part, the job market's still pretty strong and consumer confidence is there. So we'll see. And like I said, thanks to everyone who's been liking the videos and subscribing to the channel. We'll see you guys next time.